Right, hello again. I have some bad news. Rupert Lowe has not formed a political party like I thought he had. But Ben Habib has, so I do have some good news. And that's the good news. Um I don't know quite how Mr. Ben Habib's gonna do this thing, but good luck to him. But I just have to apologize for making a video yesterday, posting it, and being quite wrong. I hadn't watched the news. Give me a moment. This noise is nice, but it's too loud a noise, I think, and I can't hear myself think. Right, here we go. Back to where we were. Another picture of a fine chap behind me. And he is a fine chap. And that's that. So let's get started. What else do I have to talk about? Um, there's far too much plastic in the sea. That's one of them, and that we can fix. It only costs 1 trillion, which is a million to fix. So that's doable. Um, we will give fishing rights to back to the natives. We will reclaim our seas. Um, and we will have a splash about and play in the seas too. Why not? See? So life can be good this way. And other than that, I feel I have little to say right now, but I wonder if that's just because I got things so wrong before I watched the news yesterday. I was so excited to watch the news too. Anyway, I have a feeling it's going to be a while before I get my videos right. So, as in presented well. So it's like a muscle, I think. So I'll get better at it with time. Anyway, I think that's about it. No, let's go with something else. Archery clubs. We will have a heck of a lot more archery clubs going on because a lot of women like the sort of V shape, and it gives you that V shape. Sorry, I just thought it'd be a bit silly there. Right. Well, um, what other policies can I talk about? A removal of the Boris wave. There we go. Um, unfortunately, there's a lot of chaps from around the world that have came here since Boris Johnson got into power, and it's changing the face of Britain. It's changing the feel of Britain, and I do not like it, and nor do many other people. So we'll attend to that. And there's another thing that I intend to do as well, if we can, and that's buy a big chunk of sand somewhere. Um, because I feel if we do that, say like somewhere in North Africa, Morocco, Algeria, whatever, bit attached to the coast, big chunk of sand, then remigrate a lot of the Boris wave. But I feel if we took somewhere like that, we could use that for helping a lot of the immigrants prior to the Boris wave to go somewhere that's more suited to them in climate and temperature, but also kind of, I don't know, possibly make money off taxes because it's still part of our, like, under our control. And to be like a shining beacon, say in North Africa or the Middle East, that shows people that there's a better way. I mean, you could also do it differently and use it as a prison colony, and then just deport anyone we would rather not have in the British Isles to this patch of sand, and then we're good to go. But we can't leave it as a patch of sand. We've got to make it pretty, make it nice. So we'll do that, and then we'll build a gleaming beacon of fabulousness. Even if we do use it as a prison instead of like the other thing, yeah, because even if we started as a prison instead of a gleaming beacon of fabulousness, let's still turn it into a gleaming beacon of fabulousness. So as of now, I'm not full of a lot to say. I ummed and ahed a lot yesterday, which got to me. So I'm going to take some time to think and maybe jot some notes down that I can talk about a bit more easily than I did yesterday. But I thought if I tried to get a video out every day, then in a couple of years' time I should be quite good at these. And because I don't know if this microphone's particularly good, or it's just the one that's in my laptop, or the webcam for that matter. I mean, I'm fine with it, but I mean, you can barely see the bird. So, oh, the chap behind me, he's quite a cool chap. He's all right. He's all right. Aye. So yeah, I'm gonna get some better language skills and speak more properly. As I said yesterday, this is a learning experience for everyone. So let's do it. I mean, there is a little something that I find um sugar lumps. Yes, there's a little something I find that's very important. A little two somethings that I find that are very important, and that's learning and growing. Because as we are now, we do not do a lot of learning in a sense that betters oneself, I feel. But again, I feel I'm coming from the perspective of the bottom swath that I talk about a lot. And so coming from that angle, I I feel I tend to expect too little of I could be seen to expect too little of people. I don't think I do. I expect I try to expect I try to treat everyone as if they are from the bottom until I know them, and then I can learn how intelligent they are, or what they like to talk about, and what their passions are, what drives them, that sort of thing. And through that, you change how you deal with people and talk to them. But if I talk to everyone as if they're capable of learning, but also politely as if I'm coming at it from the perspective of I may be talking to people who know nothing, but are eager to learn, like, as if all they have is the basic language and then from there. So I feel this could all go quite well, and I just need to get a better at the speaking on videos thing. So give me a moment. I'm gonna wet my whistle and then have a few more minutes of rambling and see what happens. So let's go. Golden there. Right. So Um, let's go with a bit of news, shall we? Iran's gone crazy and Israel's gone crazy, and now Iran's less crazy and Israel's less crazy. So that's good news. Um, I would like to go to both those places. I would like to do an interview with the Ayatollah Khomeini, and I'd like to do an interview with a few of the Jewish religious leaders as well, because I feel in the media there's a lack of the religious representation and the religious point of view, which for two very fundamentally religious countries seems a bit silly. And there's a lack of debate over theology and concepts and all of that. So I'd like to do that if I can. I would have preferred to interview his father. However, that's not possible now. I just like everyone, I hope he's alright with his dad dying. Because I'm sorry to hear it, because it sucks. Um, I don't know. I would like to interview him, and I'd like to interview that other chap. Um, he's another Shiite chap, but he's like I forget his name. He lives in India anyway, and he's one of the like the living imams, so that's descendant from so and so and so and so. And then I'd really like to interview Sheikh Imran Husseini because he's a very learned individual. Um, I'd like to get a lot of theological interviews out there because no one seems to talk about that much. And in a world that's very religious, except for a lot of the uh, I don't like this term, the West. Um, I'm not sure why I don't like that term because I like almost everything it encapsulates. It's a tricky one. Well, I think it's because it feels like it's putting the British on a level with other peoples, and I feel that's an odd thing to do. I mean, on a human level, from person to person, yes, but I feel we have something special that puts us above other peoples, and I don't feel that that should be a negative thing. And it might not be in every way, it might only be in certain contexts, but I don't feel there's anything wrong with feeling that feeling. And I watched a very good video today about phone boxes, red phone boxes, by a lady called Emma Deacon, who I thoroughly recommend. And she also did a video previous to this about Venice, and she said they were both about something called what she says gentrification, just like gentrification, but for holidays and stuff. So Venice is like being gentrificated, as she says, and so it's still gentrified, but just for a different reason. Instead of bringing a load of third world chaps in there to wreck the balance of your country, or not just third world chaps or whatever, then there's that. Or but instead they've done it in a way that I'm gonna try talking without having my face here. Oh, that's a relief. So in a way that now my face has gone, my throat, this has gone quiet. The throat, everywhere. Right. Yes, so she's saying that it's been gentrified for holidays, and then she did one about London and about the red phone box and how we've kind of gentrificated the whole of London to a degree. I slightly disagree, but I get what she's saying. But I don't live in London. I've been to London once. It was nice, but it felt very foreign. And that was in the late 90s, mid to late 90s. Uh, after after Euro 98, 96, and I think after France 98, but I'm not sure. Um, yeah, so I went down and I didn't like it. I felt there was far too many foreigners then, and parts I played Spot the White Man. I was literally told to do that by some of my dad's friends and my dad and people at school and that sort of thing. And so I played it and I didn't like playing it because, well, I did in a way because like I would win when I spot one, but I didn't play it with my mum. I played it by myself. Um, I didn't think my mum needed to deal with that when she was whizzing me around London. Um, but it was a fabulous time in a lot of ways. But it did feel too foreign then, and that was the 90s, or possibly early 2000s. So it's a tricky one. Um, but I would say from what I know, it's more gentrified. But I really appreciated her point about them getting about it. It's like became a shell of itself, like almost a museum of a city in some senses. I mean, that must be more like central London and the touristy parts. For I've heard that in London, it's a lot of London, because I think of London as the big urban sprawl. And then some people say there's two cities of London or three cities of London or something. There's so it's very confusing. I mean, which London is our capital city? There's a place. There's a place to start. Because we've got the city of London in some weird legal sense, which is like a square mile. Is that our capital city? Because I don't even think Parliament's in there. And Parliament's in the city of Westminster, they say. So is that not our capital city? Or is Greater London our capital city? As I was always taught, London or Londinium is our capital city. So it's a tricky one. What is our capital city? Why do we not know this? Some people might. Obviously, it's London to a degree, but is it the city of Westminster in London? Is it the city of London in the weird square mile sense? Or is it Greater London as a whole? And is Greater London a city? Because how can it be a city if it has cities in a city? Unless it's weird and British, which it probably is, like we have countries inside a country. Um, but that's fine. I mean, I have some issues that I'd like to talk about at length about British culture, which is interesting. Um, Good things and bad things, and it's going to be fun slowly rolling all this together and being able to speak better and planning my videos out, doing whatever. Hopefully, you'll enjoy them going forward. Not at the moment. I feel people will watch a bit and leave it at that. Anyway, right, I'm gonna have to wrap this up because it's been quite a while. This isn't the best video, but I'll put it out there anyway. And then there's not much else to say except I'm sorry I got the news wrong. But I'm gutted in some ways because I hoped Rupert Lowe would start one. I'm glad Ben Habib started one. Rupert Lowe started this weird thing that I don't understand. I'll do a video about that next. How far is this one? Oh, 19 minutes. Oh no, I'll waffle on about it now. So Rupert Lowe's thing is restore Britain. And this is the problem. I watched the podcast of the Lotus Eaters today, and I do not understand a lot of their jargon. Actually, no, I'm going to do another video about this right now.